JT, how's it going? What was your reaction when you found out you're going to the Chargers?
It was just an amazing moment for me to I was actually in the kitchen just kind of chilling, watching the draft when I got the call. So I was already around a lot of my family. So my best friend was sitting right next to me. So I showed him the phone. He just looked at me and said, we're going to California. So it was just an amazing moment.
Did you kind of were surprised about the team, or did the Chargers kind of show a lot of interest in the lead up to the draft?
Not necessarily shocked. I had talked to quite a few teams, honestly, throughout the entire process. And I kind of know how the draft works. A lot of trading happens. So there's not really a particular team that you can think you're going to go to. And I had that mindset going in. So I wasn't shocked at all.
And JT, looking at your background, you have the track speed, you have size. How would you describe your game as a DB?
I would say it's very unique. I do have, the size, the speed, but I really use my intellect to kind of drive a lot of the plays that I make. So my intellect and my instincts are what help me use my speed and my size to make the plays that I make.
Thank you, JT.
Thank you.
Daniel Popper.
Hey, JT, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So I read that you earned the nickname the Heartbreak Kid at Baylor.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, how did you earn that nickname, and what sort of led to that nickname for you?
So it was kind of something that kind of built up through a fall camp that we had going into the 2019 season. Me and another DB, Braylon Arnold, who's currently on the Houston Texans, had a bunch of interceptions in camp. And so it was just kind of like a joke that I'm breaking the hearts of the quarterbacks. And so the name HBK kind of came about when Coach Joey McGuire, he was the one that first started calling me that name. And then it just kind of grew into something a lot bigger than what it was at the time.
I'm assuming it grew bigger because you ended up with 9 interceptions in games that actually counted, right?
Yes, sir. I started breaking hearts of quarterbacks across the country, not just the ones in the practice facility.
And then just, I know you were really versatile in the defensive scheme. Like, where did you fit into that scheme? Were you, playing mostly in the deep part of the field, in the box? Did you play any slot? Like, where exactly were you fitting in?
Yes, sir. I predominantly played in the deep end of the field as the free safety in our defense, but I did have a lot of box work as well. Would drop down, be a flat player. So I was able to do a lot of things. A lot of the times I was guarding tight ends and also guarding slot receivers. So like you said, pretty versatile. But for the most part, I was in the back end of things.
And did the Chargers give you sort of any indication of where you're going to fit into their defense? I know there was some talk about you potentially playing some corner on the outside. Is that something they talked to you about? Anything like that you've heard from the Chargers so far?
No, sir, nothing specific, but I'm sure we'll get into all that stuff really soon here. So just excited to even have the opportunity to be on the team. Just a great team as itself in a great division as well. So I'm really excited to get out there.
Awesome. Thanks a lot and congratulations.
Thank you.
Jeff Miller.
JT, you mentioned your intellect. Do you mean like X's and O's, or is it stuff as the play's developing and happening that that way?
I would say both. They kind of go hand in hand. So just having a general concept of the schemes and the things that you're going to go against, and then being able to just pick apart different stuff that's happening as the play is developing or even before pre-snap, just kind of helps you communicate the play. And I was able to do that with my teammates before, and I know I'll be able to do that with my teammates that I'm about to have here real soon. So just kind of they go hand in hand together.
And tell us a little bit about your ball skills. Where do you think you rate there? I know that's something the Chargers have been after for a few seasons here. I know you had a couple interceptions in the Sugar Bowl, right? Just tell us a little bit about your ball skills, you think.
Yes, sir. I'd say I had pretty good ball skills. I led the nation in interceptions, so I'd say they're not too bad. They're okay.
And this Charger team, do you have any connection with anybody here? Do you know any of these guys, any of the coaches, any of the players?
No, sir, not anybody specifically.
Okay, thank you.
Lindsay Theory.
Hi, JT. Congratulations. Jeff just kind of touched on it, but with the Chargers, how familiar are you with them, or are you familiar with them at all and kind of what they do on defense?
I'm not I haven't gone strictly in depth with just them. I'm kind of new to NFL. Growing up, I always watched college football. So as I gotten a little older is when I started to get more into the NFL aspect of things. So just as I've been getting older, really, I would say within the last 2 to 3 years is when I really started watching NFL.
And did you have much contact with the Chargers throughout the draft process?
Yes, ma'am. I talked to them a little bit. Like I said a little earlier, I was blessed enough to be able to talk to pretty much every single team with the Senior Bowl and with the Combine as well. So I talked to them a little bit, just like I did everybody else.
And is your family waiting outside those doors behind you, ready to party, or what? Because it seems very calm in there right now.
That's just because I'm upstairs and they're all downstairs. I'm like in a secluded place of the house, so I could get a little bit of peace and quiet. But yeah, they were all going crazy.
Okay, thanks. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Joe Reedy.
Hey, JT, just wondering with your performance at the Senior Bowl, how much do you think that helped your stock?
I would assume it helped me quite a bit. You know, I kind of have a knack for getting to the ball. And so for me to be able to do that at the Senior Bowl against the greatest players in the nation was just, I think that helped me a little bit as well. And then also being able to be coached by NFL coaches. I'm sure they all talked in that circle about how coachable people were. And I'm a very coachable kid, so I'm sure that helped me as well.
And then who do you think you model your game after?
That's a little hard question for me. So somebody that I think I'm closest to is Trey Flowers. He's somebody who played safety and then made the transition to corner. But when it comes to just pure safeties, I don't think a lot of safeties in the league now kind of match, you know, my prototype being 6'2", 195 and having the speed that I have. It's a little bit rare, I'd say. So finding specific people who match me is a little difficult.
Okay, thanks.
And Cam Buford to close us out.
Hey, what's good, JT?
How you doing?
I'm fantastic, man. Congratulations on your achievement, sir.
Thank you so much.
Can you take us behind the door there, behind you, and what's the vibe like with the family there? Like, who did you have to kick out of the room so you can have this conference call right now?
My dad is really the only one. But everybody was kind of downstairs when it all happened, and I kind of stepped away to just take the call. But after I was actually told I was going to be drafted, to just get the strategics and logistics of getting on the Zoom call. So I was kind of able to step away from everybody. They probably didn't even notice I kind of stepped out because they're all going crazy still downstairs.
All right. Well, congratulations for keeping that environment. When the thought of playing next to Derwin James crosses your mind, what are you thinking? What comes first to your mind?
Just an amazing ball player, an amazing athlete. And I know he's an even more amazing person. So I just can't wait to be in the same locker room as a dude like him, be able to learn so much from a dude like him, you know, multiple time Pro Bowler. So who else wouldn't you want to learn from?
Certainly. Now you talked about your ball skills. Clearly you got the 4.2 speed or 4.29 it was.
4.36.
Oh, excuse me, 4.36. I'm gonna put too much.
You credited me a little bit. Thank you. Thank
well, you got
that.
something. You got something to build into. How about that?
Yes, sir.
Talk about tackling. Tackling at the safety position. What does that mean to you? Is that important to you, or you figure if you can get there and knock the ball down, you don't have to worry about tackling? How do you go about the tackling process?
Of course, tackling is the utmost important thing, I think, especially when you play free safety like I did in college. My philosophy is I'm the eraser of the defense. So it doesn't matter what mistakes the 10 people in front of me and next to me had. It's my job to get the ball down so that we can live to fight another day. So that's the utmost importance. I think every defensive person knows that no matter how long the play is, if it's 99 yards and they started at the opposite goal line, they still have that 1 yard to go. We, as Baylor, a defense, we literally attested to that in the Big 12 championship when we had Oklahoma State on the 1 yard line to win the game. So I think tackling is just huge. It's all obviously something that I can work on. I'm sure everybody knows every defender can work on tackling. And so that's something that I'm always passionate about and always wanting to get better at my game.